And this is for safety. It's a public service. We're not looking to make any money or nothing from this. We're just trying to help people out there for your safety at night. First thing I would say is you want to buy yourself the 1200 sandpaper. It's fairly common. It's pretty soft. It's not very gritty. Then what you want to do is you're going to cut these in little squares like that, about yay. But how you want to do it is you want to bend it in 3 places like so that you can grab onto it when you're working. It doesn't slide from your hands, because we're going to use a lot of water doing this. But the advantage to this is you can use it one way and then turn around and finish with this side, or start with this side, finish with that side, so you get to use the whole sandpaper. Then we definitely want nice masking tape. Buy the good ones so they don't tear up your paint, but you really want to cover the paint portion of it, so you really want to clear coat the plastic portion of the headlight, but you don't want any of it on your paint, so you invest in some good masking tape. Most important part of this whole thing is you have to get some non-yellowing clear. It is absolutely important that the clear that you get is non-yellowing, and there are many products out there. This one happens to be this one, but there's many of them out there, but make sure they're non-yellowing clear for this specific purpose. And then, of course, you want some paper towels, just standard home. This is very important that you have only water. I can't stress the fact enough that it has to be pure water, just water from the faucet. You cannot use any chemicals. I've had people complain about the spider veins in the headlight after you paint. That is only because there's chemicals that ate through the plastic. So you do not want any of that on there. No brake cleaners, no WD-40, no nothing else. It has to be pure water. The beautiful thing about this is if you mess up, there's no messing up. You can wait 5 days in a nice 5 sunny days, and you can repeat the process. So there's never ruining this process. You cannot ruin painting. All you gotta do is, if you mess it up, you wait 4 or 5 days, nice hot sunny days of 4 or 5, to where it really dries, and you can come back and repeat this process. So very simple. I'm gonna show you in a minute how we're gonna do this. You have to be a little patient, because you have to mist the clear in several stages. Then you can coat to taste 2 or 3 wet coats, but I'm going to show you that. Okay. This part's very important. What we're going to do is we're going to turn the headlights on, and this is what everybody else is missing. You have to have the headlights on with the car running, the emergency brake set on a flat level surface. I can't stress the fact enough. If you're not sure, have somebody sit in the car with the brakes applied or whatever, or be there in case the car wants to move or something. Especially if it's a stick shift, be exceedingly careful. Have somebody in the car so that they have the emergency set. You do not want the car rolling while you're doing this. I can't stress the fact enough. Safety first. Emergency brake applied really good. Flat surface, okay? Do not do it on a hill or nothing. Just make sure the car's not going to roll on you, and preferably someone inside. Now, you want the car running because you want the voltage high, and you want these headlights hot and cooking. So give it about 5 or 10 minutes, headlights on high beam, get it all hot. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start the first stage with your sandpaper that you bent in 3 places, right? For grip, so that you can grab the sandpaper. Now, we're gonna apply water to the headlight, and plenty of water. That's the trick to this. You have to have water as you're doing it. So you gotta do this like that. Okay, take your time doing it. You wanna get the whole surface of it. You're gonna see that you're gonna get a lot of the garbage off of it, all the tree sap, everything else, all the plastic oxidation. You wanna try to do as much of it as you can. Don't worry, you cannot mess up this stage. As long as you're spraying water, you're gonna be fine. So you have to spray water as you're doing this. When you've done few strokes of this, you can turn the sandpaper over and continue to get the rest of the garbage off the headlights. At this stage you can't do no wrong, so don't be upset about anything. Just spray the water after you're done with it. When you're comfortable without cleaning it, you remove all the marks. You're gonna get a clean haze now, but it's fine. So then what you're gonna do, you're gonna get some paper towel. You're gonna dry everything. You're gonna try and dry it as much as you can. Then you're gonna get more paper towel. You're gonna spray it down again, and you're gonna dry. You wanna do that twice. You wanna get as clean as possible. Okay, now I'm gonna show you how to mask. So you're trying to get as, I want to get as close to the paint as you can. This will take some practicing, but you really can't do wrong. Whatever you miss, you can mask over. So you're trying to get as close to the headlight as you can, and then you're gonna double up, so don't worry, you cannot mess it up. If you mess it up, you just take it off and do it again. So it's not a big deal, except on very, very, very expensive cars. Really, it's not a big deal. You want trying to get as close to the headlight without covering the headlight. All right. Like so. Now, then you can double up and make a larger area. So all you're doing really is using some masking tape. They're not that much money. And on top of it, if you're not comfortable, you can use some old newspapers for larger areas. That's good. I'm comfortable with that. I don't have a problem. I can spray right straight. Okay, now the most important part. Like I said, we want to get some non-yellowing clear. I cannot stress this enough. It has to be some good quality clear that they sell in paint shops, and this will do. It has to be gloss, so you don't want anything else that's not gloss. I've never seen it not being gloss, but it has to be non-yellowing and gloss because you're trying to build super brilliance, and I show you how to do this now. Okay, so shake well in a well ventilated area, so preferably in an open area. You do not want to do this in a closed area. Do not do it in a garage. You want at least a couple of doors open and the car pointing outside, so you're really not breathing into this. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do now. Now, very, very important that the first step we're just gonna mist. But before that, we're gonna apply the paint in the air, like so. We want to make sure that the spray has it spraying a clear mist, because I've seen some just out the factory, they're not spraying good. So you want to get some just out in the air, like that. Then the most important step is to mist it. So very, very little. I'm going to show you very little misting. Okay, now the most important step among many, many important steps is that in the first coat you want to mist. The reason for that is manifold, but if you're misting, you're basically bonding new chemicals onto the old ones. Very light amount of chemicals from the new will bond much better as you're building than having a heavy coat where I've seen people say it creates spider veins and it's horrific. But like I said, even if that happens, you wait 4 or 5 days in sunny days, and that'll dry up enough to continue doing the same process. So you never at a loss. You can do it again, you can sand it again, and you can ad infinitum. You can do this many times. So we misted it and we waited for a minute. We missed this thing and we waited for a minute. That was the whole thing, for it to dry. We're gonna mist again now and wait another minute. Okay, Okay, so we're gonna wait another minute. One each. Now I cannot stress this enough. The car has to be running with the headlights on high beam. The reason for that is these headlights get extremely hot, hopefully, and that is the major trick to this whole process. The headlights have to get really hot and the box almost gets so hot you can't touch it. But that's how you want it. You want them on high beam, everything running so you get it hot so the process works much better. Now, on the third try, we're gonna clear it really good. Not too much, remember, you do not want runs, but we're gonna do it this way. We're gonna do it 50% overlap. We're gonna do it 50% overlap, and you're gonna start seeing how this thing's gonna work. Okay, so now, once we do this, we're gonna wait a little while. We did a little generous coat. Now remember, you have to make sure that you don't do too much of it where you don't get any runs. So we're gonna do the fourth try, each step building to your satisfaction. So with a 50% misting, 50% overlap, you wanna try and build, but you really don't wanna do too much of it, okay, not in one sitting anyway. So you come back. The major trick here is because the headlights are hot, it's working much better, so we're gonna wait another minute. And we're gonna try to finish it. So this is where the artist in you has to rise, and the artist in you has to do this. So you gotta kind of watch it closely and not do too much of it. So we're trying to get as much clear as we can, and that's all it's gonna be. You're only gonna get it to a certain degree, and it's not gonna be any better than that. So like I said, if at some point you don't like what you've done, you can go back and sand it in 5 days, provided you're living in a place where it's like you got sunlight, 5 days, nice hot sunlight, where the process really dries up. I cannot stress enough, after you do this, you cannot touch the car for 2 days or wash it. You do not want to get water, you don't want to touch this thing. Let it cure really good. Now, that's as good as it's going to get. You're going to have some spots because of plastic turning, but as far as we're about at 90%, it's not 100%, but we're at about 90%. We got beautiful low beam and we got beautiful satellites. Something's wrong with the high beam, but not to worry. We can come back in 5 days drying time, or maybe 10 days drying time. We can sand it and try to redo it. But we have a little bit of plastic turning, but that's not a big concern. We've cleaned up the headlight to, like, if you want to see a comparison, that's the dirty headlight as opposed to the one we did. So we hit it at a 90%. Sometimes they come out better, sometimes they come out worse, but all in all, it's better than what it used to be, and you have much better reflection on the wall. That's what we're going for. Really, it's not to restore the car to perfection. Yes, that's one of the side benefits, but you really want beautiful reflection about 20 feet away. So that's the test. At night, you want to pull up the wall and see 20 feet away if you have beautiful lines on the wall with clear, crisp headlights. If you don't have that, then you have to have mechanical headlights, but that's what we should do.